The problem with being in the pack is you'll never have the success. You'll never be first. And you're going to deal with a lot of competition along the way because you are the majority and you're dealing with all the people doing the same thing. So you will have to face that.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it, peeling off like the whip orange.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Do Good Movement. Our purpose here is to make a positive impact on our society through real-life education. The movement comes into play when you share the content to help other people do good just like you. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm excited to talk about today's topic. Now, if you're listening to this, it's probably because you want to do better in life. You want to be happier. You want to have more bliss. You want to have more financial success. You want to have better relationships. Maybe it's a friend sent you a podcast and said, check this one out. We talk about all different things here. And the thing I'm going to talk about really combines a lot of those things together and hits almost every avenue. And the topic that we're going to discuss today is change. And when I bring up change, like you just think of the word change, like what's the feeling that comes to your mind? Does it excite you? Does it make you nervous? Does it make you uncertain, unsure? What's that? What do you feel on the inside when I say change? There's going to be a change. What's your mind automatically go to? And take inventory of that. Write that down because we're going to go through a little thing here and an exercise, and it's going to help really define where you are today and where we're going to get you guys hopefully by the end of this podcast to help you get greater in your life. Now, here's the thing. When a change happens, which is going to happen regardless, whether you accept it or not, change is going to happen. That's just how the way the world works. You can look at past history, you can look at data, like changes is a thing that's going to happen. So understanding that, there's three different options you have when change comes across your life. The first option is you could lead it. You lead something, you have the opportunity to win. You could follow, meaning let other people go first and jump in, in the middle of the pack and see where you end up. By leading, you could still be successful, but you're a follower. And if you're a follower, you're not in first. You're not reaping all the benefits. And the third option is you could lose to it. You could reject change and say, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. And you could end up in the same spot, or you could end up, disappearing if we're talking about like a business or a relationship. Like if you're not willing to change, if you're not a lifetime student, there's a lot of consequences that come with that are usually worse than accepting the change or following the change. When's the last time that you have been in a change? When's the last time you've had something change in a relationship, something change at your work, something just change in your life in general? What did you do? Out of those three options, did you lead it? Did you follow it? Or did you reject it? Did you lose to it? And think of an example as we're talking, and I want you to take inventory of that and write that down as well. Go ahead and pause the podcast if you need to pause it, and just spend a little bit of time right now and think about a time that there was change and how you reacted to it and what was the net result. And think about the other people that were in the change. Think about the person who led the change, who was the first one, who might have been a follower and who might have been the rejecter, right? Where were you? Where were they? And hopefully there's been some time between now and that change. And what does life look like from the decision and how you acted towards that? And I'm going to give a little bit more context to this in a little bit. Now, here's the truth of change, even for me, guys, is it's a son of a gun. It's difficult, right? We build this thing of like comfort of like doing something that we're familiar with. And when something different comes into our life, it takes energy. It's something new. And it's not always easy to like learn and adapt to it, just because we've built the behaviors and identity and skill sets off of like what life already is. Now, I believe a lot of people are stagnant in life because they don't push change on themselves. They don't follow change. They just accept who they are today and say, that's who I am. Like, this is just me. And they usually get into a spot of being unhappy because they're living the same day over and over and over again through their life. And nobody wants to do that. We're as human beings, we're supposed to explore and do different things and be in different places and be challenged and stuff like that. So it is a son of a gun, and it's going to happen regardless. Now, let me talk to you about the pioneer. The pioneer is the one who brought the change, who enforced the change, who led the change. If you think of a pioneer like the old days, they're having to go through uncharted territories. They come across things that are scary and uncomfortable, and they don't have really options. Like, this is the road they're going down, and this is what they're coming across, and they're having to figure it out as they go. And so you can imagine this pioneer is dealing with a lot of objections, right? But as a pioneer stays very focused on the vision and the benefits and the reason why they decided to go down that road, that pioneer will get through the road and will get there. The pioneer is going to be bruised up. The pioneer is going to face a lot of hardship, but the pioneer is going to be the first one to have the experience, the first one to have the change, and the first one to make the massive impact. I call those pioneers entrepreneurs. They're leaders. They can have a little bit of fear. They understand the uncharted waters are going down, but they're committed. They believe in it, and they're going to make it through. And those pioneers, if we think of them in our life today, and people running some of these larger companies or the most successful they have the most successful relationships and different things like that, it's because they had a thought, an idea, and they ran with it and they pioneered it. Now, if you fit in the group of, I'm just in the pack, I don't like to take those risks. You're one of the majorities. The majority of people are going to not be the first one to step in. They're not going to want to take the risk. They don't want to deal with objections. They want to make sure that the path is already paved. They already know the good and bad about it, and they got an option if they want to go or not. The problem with being in the pack is you'll never have the success. You'll never be first. And you're going to deal with a lot of competition along the way because you are the majority and you're dealing with all the people doing the same thing. So you will have to face that. And a lot of people in that majority group and the followers don't realize that until they're living in that life and be like, well, I have too many of the same people I'm competing with. I'm not different. And that's why I'm having this podcast with you guys today about being the pioneer. Now, the third one is the one who rejects it. The third one rejects change. I think we could all look at a business, look at a person in our life who has been doing that. And as I said earlier, that person's probably living day by day. That person's probably failed. Because if you're not changing and you're not growing as a person, you're not growing as a business, you're not taking on risk, you're not doing different things, not only does your life become stagnant, but your life will slowly start dwindling away. You have to change up things to keep it exciting. You have to change up things to be different. That is the key in life, is to be different, okay? Now, I want to give some real-life examples because you guys are listening. You might have done a good job and put in pictures to the story that I'm talking about. But let's talk about a couple companies here. Netflix. Think of Netflix. Think of Blockbuster. You guys remember Blockbuster? Where's Blockbuster today? Where are they? Where's Netflix today? Blockbuster, you'd go into a retail location, you'd pick out a movie, you'd rent the movie. Blockbuster ran the model. Blockbuster did not take the change with technology. And then this pioneer comes in, pioneers Netflix, entrepreneur, and does something completely different, out of the ordinary, that nobody has ever thought of, and nobody's ever tried. And I'm sure it was scarier than a son of a gun for Netflix to invest that type of money and to take that type of stance. I'm sure Netflix has had tons of objections, tons of pushback, tons of hardship, but they persevered. They said, this is a path I'm on. I believe in it. I'm going to get through, and I'm not going to follow an industry. I'm going to change an industry. That's what a pioneer does. It says, I don't care that the relationship's this way. I don't care that the business is this way. I don't care that an industry is this way. I'm going to go and change it. There's a different way. There's a way that I could see in my head that will make a positive impact. And it might sound so far out, but I believe in it so much where I do not care what I risk to make that happen. And then boom, look at Netflix in business, crushing it, one of the top companies in the world, and Blockbuster's out of business. Think of DoorDash. Now on a smaller scale, I'm not sure if this was everywhere, but back before DoorDash, we had I think it was I can't even remember the name, but it was like Door and Dine or something like that. You could call, and there's a couple restaurants on there, and you pay this like big fee to get food delivery. Well, they're no longer in business. You think of like Yellow Pages and different things like that, to Google and stuff. Where are they at? Right? You think of Walmart was like the place that had everything. Now you got Amazon. So Walmart, I'm bringing up Walmart because it's a little bit of a different story. They didn't lead the change. Amazon came in and led the change. They're the pioneer here. Now look at the work Walmart's having to put in to keep what was theirs. They're losing customers every day. They're losing market share. And now they're following and they're trying to react to the change that Amazon has put in place. Who is having a better life today? What group? The ones that are creating and doing all the new stuff and grabbing all the new opportunities? Or the one that's playing defense, that's behind, that's trying to somehow catch up to a company that is so far ahead, that is so forward thinking? Okay? Who won and lost in these situations? Now, the situation, I know I talked about business, but this is how it goes in relationships. This is how it goes in your job. This is how it goes in your mindset on how you think about change and how you do different things. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the pioneer? Do you want to be the follower? Or do you want to be the hard-headed guy, the hard-headed girl that says, I'm good, I'm fine, and stay where you're at for the rest of your life? Because I know you don't want to do that. I'm hoping you choose a pioneer. But let me tell you, if you chose a pioneer, what you're going to come across. You're going to come across the resistance. You're going to come across people telling you it's impossible. You're going to come across objections. You're going to fail a lot of times. But if you could understand one thing through this of being a pioneer, if you stay in belief of your vision and you are able to paint the picture for other people to understand the vision, people will follow and you will be successful in being the pioneer. Be the pioneer. Don't worry about the rest. Don't assume. Don't put the negative stories in your head. That is, you want to become great in life, that's how you become great. You do something that's different, that sets you apart from the rest. And I'm sure that's what a lot of your mentors have done today that you look up to. You have it in you. You're a human being. You're smart. You're wanting to get better, and I know that because you're listening to this today. What in your life, because I want you to take action here. I don't want this to be another podcast you listen to and you go on with your day. I want you to look at your life today and say, what can I be a pioneer in? Can I be a pioneer in my relationship? Can I be a pioneer in my workspace? Can I be a pioneer in my business? What can you be a pioneer in? And go lead it. You're going to deal with a couple things along the way, but the reward at the end is so great. That's what I got for you guys today. Do good.